Hi guys, Gaming Bear here. Right, today we're looking at the Object 140 and the T62-A. It's really strange that Quickie Baby's come out today with a review or a quick look at some very good gameplay from someone in an Object 140. And there's me been spending the past few days doing this review on the two tier 10s on this line. So very interesting. So follow through. It'll give you details of the two tanks, gameplay and details on them. The second bit of gameplay on the 62, sadly there was a problem with the sound. It's slightly disconnected. You've still got the gameplay, but you haven't got my voiceover, so I apologise for that. When I get back from Gamescom, I will be putting some signage in the background of what I was actually saying on any pertinent points I was making, so that's going to be added later. I apologise, but I need to get myself ready to head off with Wargaming to go to Gamescom. So sorry about that. So this is the introduction, and it'll lead into a video I've done previously. So bear with it when it comes to that video. There will be more information of what I was saying at the time. So just watch the game and look at how the T62 played. Sadly, I was giving a voiceover of my thoughts, what was happening, and that didn't come through. So I really strongly apologise for that. So for now, I'm signing off, and see you soon. Cheers, guys. Right, today we're looking at the T54 and the tech tree up. Well, the medium tech tree coming up on the Russian line. Let's have a look. So you work your way up. T54. You can get there from the 54 lightweight, the Object 416, or the T44. A branch at the T34-85, and the KV-85 leads into the KV-13. You can move up to the T43, but the quickest way is the 34-85, then the 43, up to the 44, and into the 54. At this point, you've got the option of either going to the Object 140 or the 62-A. Now, which do you want to do? So let's have a look at the T54 at the moment. So why do people go for one rather than the other? So looking one way, you've got the 140, which gets this gun. Looking at the 62, you get this second gun. Now what's the difference? So the 140 gets a better dispersion and a better aim time, but it's got only a standard standard AP of 201mm, whereas the T62 has actually got 219, but it's not so good at aiming. So this is what you have to work with in the T54 to get you the experience to work up. And I've found, talking to most people over the past 5 or 6 years, that at this stage people go for the 140. So we'll run through why people primarily go for the 140 rather than the 62, and which is better for you. And this is the point that you need to look and see what you've got to work with and what is actually going to suit you better. So I actually run the T54, and I've kept the experience. I've managed to do it. You don't have to have the second tracks to run the 54. The standard tracks give you a traverse speed of 46. The upgraded one give you 48, 2 degrees for 23,600 experience. I thought it's not worth it. If I've got that much free experience, then at some point I will upgrade and do it. But I save the experience. So I've got the 140, and I'm just about to upgrade to the 62. So let's actually go in and purchase the 62. 6,100,000 credits, and let's go in without a crew at the moment. See if I've got a spare crew I can put in. So we'll get it without the crew and display it in the garage. So now, well, as you saw, we didn't have the we've now got the 62A and the 140. So this is what the standard 62 looks like, and we're running the same gun, 0.34 dispersion, 2-second aiming time. Let's compare it to the gun on the 140. Oh, you can see I've got the competition camo on there. So 0.35 and 2.1. So the aim time isn't quite as good. So this is the U8TS with the 140. The 62A has got the U8TS, but it's a slightly different variant. Not quite so accurate. So bear with me a second. Let me call this up. So looking between the two vehicles, you've got the same DPM, basically the same gun, The damage per shot is 320, penetration 264, and you get APCR as standard. Then you get heat, which gives you a penetration of 330. The shell velocity is 900. APCR, you're actually 1.5 kilometers a second, which is incredibly fast. Lead time of basically hardly anything. But what you're looking at is the dispersion, the rate of fire, all the rest of it. The reloads, the rate of fire are identical. Aim time is 2.1 seconds, whereas the 62 is slightly faster. Dispersion is 0.35 instead of 0.34, so the 62 has got the edge. On the move, you find that the 140 is just slightly more accurate than the 62, so you lose out. You've got the slight improvement on the accuracy, but you've got the 140 with the accuracy on the move. So moving, you'll find that the 140 is slightly better. Traversing the turret, it gives the edge to the 62. So what I find is that in the 62, it's more of a brawling in close tank. Let's have a look. So ammo capacity is identical. We've seen the velocities, all the rest is the same. Now this one item you've got is the 140's got an additional 5 kph, and you think, oh, that's neither here nor there. But I've actually been alongside 62s. You'll find with the power to weight ratio and the terrain resistance, it's a very interesting situation. I've been on soft to medium terrain with a 62 next to me when I'm in the 140, and he starts to pull away, but you hit that 55 cap, or he hits the 50 cap, and the 55 of the 140 allows you just to pull away. And I had one situation where I've only been in that situation once, where I managed to pull away, get just into cover, but the 140 was the 62 was shot because he couldn't get into cover quick enough. We both had essentially the same sort of armor, similar apparently power to weight ratio, but it was that top speed combined with the power to weight ratio. The 140 has got 16.2 and the 62 has got 15.8. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it was enough to get me up to the 55 kph and pull away, which got the 62 killed. He died before I did, but we still managed to win the game. If we'd been running two 62s, we'd have both been shot, and it's that little subtle differences like that can make the difference, make or break you. So, traversing. Like I said, in a clinch on tank traversing, the 62's got it. The turret traverse is better. Where is it? Gun traverse is 33, is the same. Turret traverse is 48 on the 62, so it's more of an in-close brawler. You can, even though you haven't got the power to weight ratio, it's got the terrain resistance to allow you to do that. And it's little things like this that you need to look at. And we'll have a look at the armor and the rest of that in a minute. So let's have a look. Armor-wise, this has got the edge. The hull is the same, apart from on the rear, which has got just 10 mil more. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it can just give you that one single bounce that the 62 can't quite manage. Then you come to the turret armor. Suppose it's the same, but you've got different cupolas, and we'll have a look at the cupolas and things in a minute. Is one very, very if you're firing over at an enemy, the 240 on the front is it with the gun depression. You can turn that 240 mil into a higher number because of by being able to pull back further and to use the upper plate and the armor more with the 140 than you can with the 62, even though the cupolas are smaller. And I'll show you the cupolas in a minute. So firing over, your frontal armor is better on the 140, apart from the subtle weak spots, which we'll have a look in a minute. If you turn and you're fighting multiple opponents, the 187 mil on the 140 can give you the edge, whereas the side armor on the 62 is only 161. Now you look at, you're saying, oh, it's only 26 mil more, but that 26 more additional mil of armor on the sides of the turret means that you're less likely to be ammo racked, and that the shots are less likely to pen in the first place. Yes, the 62 can turn to face your opponent quicker, but if you're up against multiple opponents, the 140 has got the edge. Against single opponents, the 62 has got the edge. And it's little differences like that help you decide which is going to suit you better. You're looking at the experience and the cost of getting the vehicles are the same. Now, which is going to just have the key features for you. So we know that the gun depression, we got gun elevation the same, which is 17. The gun depression 6 degrees on the 140 and 7 degrees on the 62. So let's have a look at the 3D model for the 140 down to the hybrid model, and aim over as if you're on a ridge using the full armor and abilities. Now you're looking the front plate at this sort of an angle. That's it. You're looking over, and you're looking from 280 mil of armor. At the sides, you're looking 5 to 6, 700, 800, 1,000. You know, it's not going to pen. This cupola here is a slight weak spot. 173 mil equivalent, 200 mil of pen will go through this. It's quite a large target, which you won't find on the 62. We'll have a look at the 62 in a minute. This cupola has got 64 mil, but it's a much smaller target, so it's less likely to be hit, but this can be penetrated quite nicely. Now, we were talking about the looking over a ridge, you're not going to get penetrated by anything. The side armor, this area is 130 mil, but as you start to work your way back, it's an automatic ricochet zone. The tracks can absorb the shots from the APCR, so it couldn't even penetrate itself. Now, you're fighting the side, you're looking, this side here, you're looking 250 to 300 mil, whereas the armor from the 60, we'll have a look at the armor from the 62 in a minute. Side profile, if you're not able to quite bring the gun round, he's aiming at this, you're still looking 280 mil of protection. Yes, they could put them in here, but if you move up close, you can actually bounce the shots here. So this firing over is a very good position for the 140. Poke, fire, and you're only showing these areas for a short amount of time. If you need to aim, which, because it's the 140, you need to aim just that slightly bit longer than the 62 because of the 62's faster aiming time to make up for this additional armor that you get because of the 140. So it makes the 140 usable. Now let's go back and have a look at the tag by list tier 10 medium 62, compare it to the 140, doing it the other way. Bear with me a second. And the 140, come on, where are you? There we go, the 140. Clear that down, and then we will look at the 3D model of the 140 to show the difference. So you're firing over the 140 with the 62, firing over slightly more accurate gun, but from this angle you're looking 230 mil. Now we saw with the 140, you're looking 3 to 400 mil. So immediately your upper plate is vulnerable, but you don't have to poke for so long because your gun is more accurate. Now you can see the difference in the cupolas. This, you're not going to hit this cupola, and here you're looking 220 mil is a very small area. Generally 240-ish is the weakest place you'll find. 229, very, very small target. Oh, was that 180 or something? 190, so 200 mil, very, very small target. Whereas this cupola on the 140 is a larger target. The frontal armor, you can see, look at the plate. There's chances of penetrating here, but with the angling and sloping of the 140, it wouldn't be penetrated. So this is what you're aiming here. It's a weak spot on the 62. If someone's aiming around the gun, they know where to shoot, they will penetrate you. Whereas on the 140, you won't get penetrated, but someone will be aiming for this cupola. So it depends how you play and what you want to go for. You then have the differences with the power to weight ratio. That the 140's got a slightly better power to weight ratio, even though the terrain resistance sort of balances that out. And then you've got the top speed of the 140, which gives you the edge. Working ridges, the 62 hasn't got gun depression, but it's better in a clinch. So if you're a closer brawling fighter, the 62 could be better for you, or else the 140 seems to be, talking to people, is more of an all-rounder that people are able to use in more situations and to get you around the battlefield that little bit faster. You're able to get up to 50 kph in the 62, but the 140 can get up to that 55 more quickly, or as quickly, and then be able to mosey around the battlefield with that extra 5 kph and leave the 62 behind and get the 140 into places, firing down those ridges, using its gun depression to allow you to work the battlefield more easily. But if you've got a clever opponent, they will know about the weak spots on top of the 140, whereas the frontal plate here is a weak spot on the 62. It's not a weak spot on the 140. So different places have got different things. But if anyone knows it, they'll be aiming for the front plate on the 62. So you're generally in a better position firing over a ridge with a 140 than you are with a 62. And if you're not firing over a ridge, then you're looking at this sort of situation. You can easily be penetrated. Gun out that way. You're firing round. Your enemy's firing at you, flat trajectory, and basically they can easily shoot into to your lower plate. But you can keep the gun aiming towards them, and use the turret. Apart from these subtle weak spots, when you're in a clinch, these areas here are less easy to hit if you're swinging the gun from side to side. So as long as you know that your weak spots, you wait for someone to fire, swing your gun back, fire, turn away, allow them to have the more difficult to pen areas, swing the gun back quickly, fire, turn, or fire, turn, to get the right amount of armour towards your enemy, and keep doing it that way. Bounce their shots, work the ridges, work your tank, and do the same with the 140. So it depends what you want to do, but people generally say that the 62 is a slightly more specialised tank than the 140. So we will go and actually do some gameplay in the 140, and then I will kit out the 62 now that we've got it, and we will do some gameplay in the 62, so I can show you a direct comparison of me playing them. So it should be quite comparable as to how they play, and hopefully we'll get similar maps. But hey, you never quite know. So I will click onto the 140. We'll go out in that in a moment, and I shall. Okay, back with coffee. Okay, let's have a look. So you're looking at the front of this, you can see the slope here is quite pronounced, which is one reason why this is very good at working those ridges, because of the additional sloping there. Now let's have a look at the 62. You can agree, whereas there's the sloping on the 140, you can see the dramatic difference. From the front, the cupolas, this is the subtle weak spot that if you're close you want to aim for, or if you're playing it, you want to be hiding. Whereas the 62, click on the 62, there is no cupola. They might be aiming for the lights, but there's nothing behind it. This side is a small area, but the cheeks, this area is a weak spot, this area here is a weak spot, and firing down through the front plate is a relative weak spot, so you've got to watch out for those. So let's start kitting them out. So we've got vents, you're going to be on the move, so coated optics and gun rammer. So let's go for, I will need some extra money. You never have enough money. So vents, oh good, everything's a bit cheaper at the moment, which is nice. Then vents, coated optics, and gun rammer. Cool, and we'll do a similar loadout. So we're running 29, 18, and 3. $29, not $39. Okay, and so let's get those kitted out. Cool, that's ready to rock and roll. Then exterior wise, we want to put some camo on. What's going to suit this tank? That's quite nice. I like that. Next, let's go for, let's see what suits. Something that won't show the angles of the plate so badly and the weak spots. That's quite good. And then summer camo, I seem to like that one, seems quite nice. That's a bit too subtle. It's quite a nice background blending colour. So, and then that. So we'll go for that camo. And then we want the crew. Now, looking back at the garage, what we're looking at, you've got the option of taking the crew from the T54, but the Tier 9 is a sweet spot. And you don't want to move a Tier 9 crew up, but you want to practice with a crew that you've got. So we'll just highlight all of the Russian mediums. So as you can see, I've kept them all. I've never sold a single tank, which is another reason to have all of the crews in there. So it's more difficult for me to at higher level because all of these crews I've never moved up. A lot of them are in the garage, but I've never actually moved a crew up. So I'm going to have to get a brand new crew for this and then start moving them into the into other tanks to get them the experience that they need. Let's see if there's someone who's hanging around. A43. Anyone else? No, it doesn't look like. So let's just get a brand new crew. And just put them straight in. Create the loader. And that's the crew ready to rock and roll. So we will first go. Where's the 140? Tier 10. So we've got the 62 and the 140. So let's get straight into a battle and see what we can actually do with this. So try and work the ridges so you can see how this operates, and then we'll do the same thing with the 62. So you can see. I hope we get. You can see how quickly it is to get up. So we'll try and do some testing, not such serious play. Try and test out a couple of features of the vehicles, and see what we can do. So we will get in and look at the view range and the mobility and the accuracy. See how quickly it is to use the vehicle.
Your assistance has been requested.
Who wants us? 47%. Okay, let's see what we can do.
Move out.
So, booking the ridge, we want to poke over, get into a hold down position. You can see power to weight ratio. This has got a better power to weight ratio than the 62, so you wouldn't be at this stage accelerating forward. So now let's angle slightly. Now the 62 aiming over. This is what you would see. The cupolas are right back, and it's a very good angle. So this is what we're using at the moment. So we'll try and stay in position, get ready for them to move on this corner, cover this area, see what we can do. That's where we're going. So looking over, anything that isn't going to bounce on the front plate will hit the side tracks. There's a thin area of the ammo boxes which could potentially be penetrated, but the rest is either thin shots or what's happening over there? I thought I saw something go down. Yes, tree down there. Shot in. They might have been moving past. We're warning them off. Jaegeroo. Blinking out. The accuracy wasn't ready. Let's get out of here. Looks like RT hit just behind us. Yes, T92 was the one that did it. So critical hit from the Jaegeroo, and the 92 hit us, but the armour was pretty good. So the Jaegeroo shot was, yes, it hit the tracks, but this tank ate the shot. So you see, working the ridgeline, angling correctly, you can even bounce a Jaegeroo shot. It was heat. For some reason, he's using heat rather than standard. Which is a bit of a bad move. I don't think he knew what he was doing, or he was preparing for something which was potentially tougher. Our whole force is pushing the other way. It's only myself. Oh, and the objects run away as well. So it's only me covering the 9-0 line. Otherwise, if I'd back up here, I would be pushing up. But I'm expecting there to be a couple. The guerrillas haven't been spotted, and I'm expecting them to be this way alongside close to the Jaegeroo. So that's one reason why I'm not pushing up, because they will wreck me if I go up this way. But we'll try the manoeuvrability. Let's move in and see if we can get any shots in. It's 3-2, we've got to do something. So we'll try and there we go. Accuracy on the move is still quite good. So time to move, get out of here. Jaeger got me that time. Let's try and track him. Get out of here. Okay, we've distracted them. Coming in behind them. Use the water. Oh heck. I thought the guerrillas would be around. Accuracy is pretty good. So we're spotting them for the team. Stay low. Use the water. Put the pressure on them. Work the ridge. Work the gun. That chat there. Stay low.
Target acquired. Enemy armor is hit. Where'd they go?
Let's go and help the E50. That's it. It's a usable tank. It's not just the manoeuvrability. It's how you can aid your team. Let's not appear at the same place. Let's not go through the circle. Keep it rock and rolling. Keep them spotted. Try and do a shot on the guy up there. Check the accuracy. Oh, that was so close.
They're knocked out. Critical hit.
So we tracked him.
Critical hit.
Usable tank. So we'll see what we can do. So points wise, we will see how we did. So this is the 140. So you saw from that initial thing, the bounce from the Jaeger. This is a very, very tough tank. So 1400 efficiency, 2100 or 77%, third class, which is okay. 2,500 damage, 952 experience. Let's see how we did. So it was okay. Yeah, in the top third. So 1 kill, it was passable. So 16 shot, 12 hit, 9 penned. And came away with almost 14,000 credits, 2,100 experience, 1,062 basic experience, which is nice. So let's now hop into the 62. Do the same thing. There's nothing there. It's all standard, never been played before. We'll see what this is like. I haven't actually played this before, so I don't know. So we will see. And we'll see how it feels. But the 140 feels nice. But this gun is slightly more accurate. But the the 140 seemed accurate enough, and I don't know whether the 62 would have bounced that shot that the from the 8. Well, he had the wrong ammo. If he'd used the right ammo, I think the 140 would have bounced it rather than just having the tracks taken off. So we'll see. So we will see what this can do on the ridges. We'll check out the manoeuvrability. But you saw from that the 140 is a very usable tool, and a nice hand. That was sort of an average sort of game with the 140, but a lot of fun, and which is why I like it so much. The T54 and the 140, very very nice. So this is the first game that I've ever played with the 62. So you haven't got the gun depression, but the cupolas are slightly tougher. So we're going to work our way down the AB line, use the ridges there, poke over, see what we can do, use the accuracy of the gun, and try and come in that way. We're looking, there's not a great deal of they've got a lot more heavies. They're going to be pushing the heavy line, and there's a couple of arties. So I'm going to start off pushing down the AB line, see what we can do. They're going to be pushing very heavily back this way. We'll try and secure the win. Just let him go past. He's done the same. So we'll push down and see what we can do. Secure the one line if possible, and then it looks like I may have to turn around because there's going to be an E5, 113, T57, and the T10 pushing, and we've got an IS7 and a T10 and a Carnarvon. So I would say that so we're up to 48 kph. Looking that way, the view range is going to be identical on both of them. Spotted the E50 up there. So they're pushing that way. It looks like they're getting ready. What, dude? What are you doing, dude? Maneuverability seems okay. 113 is coming this way. The heavies are coming this way. What the... Holy moly. Right. Let's see what this is like. Now, this seems more mobile climbing up a hill than the 140. The power-to-weight ratio isn't so good, but the gun depression, the power-to-weight, I would say... Time to get out of here. Yeah, I just wanted to do a snapshot. The gun was accurate. I'm backing off. What? Come on, what are you doing? He's trying to push me up. What the... Come on, dude! Stop pushing me! If you want to go up there, you go up there. I'm sorry. What the... You know? We're 2 tanks down. And they're pushing hard the other way. So... Oh, our E50... Nice one. I wish I had an idea on who shot him. But we'll see what we can do. See if we can work this tank. Get used to the angles. We're holding them on the around about F9. Don't push too much. So we've got the MX-13, which is could be working its way over the other side. He's in the dip. Accuracy of this is good. Very good. Oh, I was just about to take him out. What the heck? Someone's... That E50 is a bit of a... isn't he? Not looking. Let's see how good this is hold out.
We didn't penetrate their armor. Penetration. We didn't penetrate their armor. That one bounced.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. The cupola seems tougher. Sadly, the team really weren't quite with it. no support, but it happens. But let's look at the way it worked. Being hulled down, it seemed very good. It was bouncing a couple of shots, and the game it's the tank itself is good. The accuracy, you can actually feel the difference. You can feel that the gun is more accurate. That sniping of that light tank was much more precise. So I like what how it feels. Still did 1200 points of damage, and yeah, it's very, very efficient. The gun is accurate enough, and I felt like I could pinpoint targets, whereas the 140, it doesn't feel quite so good. You saw us with aiming in, going for weak spots. The 140 doesn't quite feel like that. And as you're there in that hold down position, they would be able to snipe the 140 and take it to pieces, even though you've got the better hull. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Moving over, this felt better working the ridges. Getting up to 55, the 140's got the edge, but this, conversely, I actually like the way this feels. It's nice. So up until now, I would have said that the 140 is the better tank. I don't know whether it's the accuracy. The accuracy seems to make this for me. And being in that hold down position, it's like a mini IS-7 or T30. Almost guarantee that your turret won't be penetrated. Oh, and I wanted to have a look at things, but the connection's gone. Right, let's have a look. Okay, before we move on, the special for the 100-year tank mission has just come up, and this should be pretty good. So I'm not going to be able to do the first part because I'm going to be over in Cologne, but this does look like a very good set of missions for you to do. And so we'll get on and have a look at the tanks in the garage. So from the continuation with the 62, we'll look at the next game and see if we can learn a bit more about it. So let's get on with that gameplay. Before we do, I just need to remind you that the sound, there's a problem with the sound, so I will put in annotations later explaining what I was saying, but the gameplay is still in the background with all the game sounds, so I apologise if there seems like there's no sound with a voiceover, and I will make it up to you later. So enjoy the gameplay. The rest of it is it comes back to normal at the end of the video, but I'm really sorry about the sound and having a problem for the voice recording in the next section, but it will be rectified afterwards. So
peace and quiet.
Yeah. Thank you, little Miss Bear. She's lovely. She says I talk all the time. I don't know what she means, but let's get on with that game. I was like, what? Let's do this.
Your assistance has been requested. Where to go? scope is fixed, but it's still fragile. We've lost the track. Penetration. We've torched them. We've lost some ammo, but at least it didn't explode. Bail out. This vehicle has had it.
Okay, well, sadly it was a defeat, but we know a lot more information now about the T62. So, efficiency 1575 or 82%, and WN8 were looking 1966 or 72% on a loss. So it's a very efficient tank. So 8 shots, 3 kills, 2300 damage, no assistance sadly, and let's have a look. So yeah, Bruiser, a couple of other awards. Oh, thank you. Little Miss Bears just brought me a coffee. Thank you so much. She's just lovely. Yeah, back to this. And yeah, so in the top third for damage, 3 kills, so joint top, and experience 4th on experience. 8 shots, this is where the key information comes in. 8 shots, 8 hit, 8 penetrations. It's that German-like precise accuracy that this gun has got. You can hold it and fire when you need to, and it's going to get there with the basically no lead time. You fire, it's going to be there. It's going to hit where you want it to hit. Very precise, very good gun. Hence, 8 shots, all hit, all penned. Very, very nice. Total damage 2,300, but from a distance of over 300 meters, you're looking at a third of the damage at range. Very, very nicely done. So this is a very accurate, punchy, effective tank at range. But we also learned that it was a good brawler. So you've got that combination of being a good brawler, but very good up close. You saw hunting down that bat chat. 2 shots from us. Yes, we took 1 in return. 1 shot from a bat chat. Well, his autoloader, yeah, but we managed to hunt him down and take him out. So that's what this can do. So not only can you work from range, but you can also work up close. And this is it's quite a good combination. But when we were hull down up against the E50, he penetrated us, whereas I would say that the T140 wouldn't have been the Object 140 wouldn't have been penetrated. And that's the difference. Working those ridges, the 140 could do it. This needs to be in a different position and work in a different way, which I'm still working out how to do it. I'm used to playing the 140. So let me know what you think of the best method for playing it. But I would say that this is it's a bit of a brawler. It's a good combination. That 50 kph was good enough, combining it with the power to weight ratio, to be able to hunt down and catch that bat when he was going the opposite direction and just take him to pieces. 2 shots, boom, he was dead. And very, very nice. But as you saw with that, you need the better repair kit, otherwise you're stuck and dead. So you want to be constantly moving and not tracked and not out of position. We were just unlucky. It happens. But the main thing was very effective. 8 shots, 8 hit, 8 pens. Good enough armour, so we took 10 shots, 6 penetrated, but we bounced 4 for 1100 damage. Very, very nice. Survivability, we're looking 1950 hit points. So I'd say 60%. We blocked 60% of the damage, which could have killed us far earlier. So the armour is very good. The mobility is good, the gun is excellent, and it's a very, very good all-round tank. Not quite up to the Object 140's rigid working, but this has got its own style, it's got its own abilities, it's a different tank. So, to conclude, the Object 140, very nice all-round tank, good armour, and very nice gun depression, good gun, quite accurate. Then you come to the 62A, even more accurate gun, better cupolas, a couple of weak spots here, and not such a good front plate. So liking them both for slightly different situations, but they're both very, very good tanks. I would say just give the edge to the 140, but it's really, really slim, and it depends how you feel that this would suit you. They are both very, very good medium tier 10s, and I can't say fairer than that. Everyone was surprised. They said, well, why Wargaming put out two such similar tanks at the same tier, basically on the same line? And we wondered why is it needed? Well, they do have different purposes. The 62 is slightly more of a brawler. The 140 is better at working ridges, and the 62 is better at hull down. They're good at hull down. They're both good at hull down. The 140 is good at hull down, but the cupolas on the 140 make it slightly weaker. But up on a ridge, it's because of the angling and sloping, the 140 has it. So it's different places, different map. You can work them differently. So it depends on your style. So if your style is for working ridge lines, then the 140 is the one to go for. But if you're for flat, brawling, get up close, stay hull down, and use those cupolas, then the 62A is the tank for you. Accuracy at range, still the 62 has it, but the strength of the armour on the 140, the slightly improved mobility, the okay cupolas, the very good rest of the turret. For me, the 140 just has the edge, but it's only a very thin edge, and it depends on your playstyle. So I hope this has helped. I'm the Gaming Bear. I'm on my way off to Cologne in the morning, so hopefully see you there. And if not, then put in the comments what you think about this, and I will. I'd love to platoon with you. So if you want to message me, send me a platoon invite. I can talk you through, help you with what you need to make the right choices, to go up the right line to suit you. So I'm the Gaming Bear. These have been the Object 140 and the T62A, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers, guys. Bye.